Oh, each word, okay, good. Okay, good, that's what I wanted, so, okay.
Like those 3 street faces are
Right, right, okay, just working on it.
and I think,
Larry, go ahead.
I think the update will be on the.
Right, yeah. Yes?
There's nothing gonna be on about, street work over there?
No. No, we already have to be already on that.
I thought there was something in the.
No, what
In the leader news said,
what I have said.
Window decal for.
Window decal. So we ordered the Washburn, that logo, that red Washburn, because we were thinking it was supposed to be replacing that old logo, but then Larry told us that no, that's not the new logo. We had already ordered it, it was $15. Yeah, so we just need to decide if, at some point, if that's going to be our logo, then we have it, if not, then.
Okay.
Anything else I got to hear in the appointments to see about?
Well, you can say,
Oh, these two boys want to go home.
Okay, yeah, there'll be enough on that tonight, so. All right, thank you.
No.
Okay. It's 6:30, we will call the March 11th, 2019 City Commission to order. First is the approval of the minutes from the February 11th meeting. Does everybody have a chance to look at the minutes, and if so, are there any additions or corrections?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from March 11th, or February 11th, sorry.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Or, excuse me, Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Ross?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, and then February financials, everybody have a chance to look those over? I have a question. I don't think I did. I looked them over and I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Questions on those from anybody?
I'll move to approve the February financials.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes. Four Seasons Tree and Yard? Not here. Did they call or anything? Okay. Okay, bike trail. What's your name? Summer Boucher?
Under Boucher.
Boucher?
Yep.
Come on, step up.
Okay. Did you guys get my handout?
We did.
There was another one
This
in
one,
our
right?
packet.
This handout.
Okay, that
Well,
was in
it
our.
should have been in your thing
Yeah.
there, so, no, it would be in your,
It's on your iPad.
oh, iPad, yeah.
I have additional handouts if anyone needs them.
Well, anyway, why don't you, kind of sit down, tell us what you're thinking.
So, I'll introduce myself. I'm Sumner Beauchert, live here in Washburn. I'm looking to propose a multi-use, non-motorized community trail here in Washburn on the city of Washburn ground. It's probably going to be mainly used for runners and bikers. There won't be any jumps or any major obstacles that anyone can get hurt on. And that's about it.
So, I guess the first question, so who would be responsible for putting this together or marking out the trail? That would be you, I'm assuming? or-
Yep. I would volunteer my time or donate it to the city to put the trail in. Trail's about a mile long, winding back and forth
Mhm.
in there. And then how building it goes is It's just a little divot into the grass, so it's exposed dirt, so people can follow the path easy. For marking it, it should be pretty self-explanatory on where to go, but I have funds set aside to place some markers for it.
Have you walked this whole area already, or?
I haven't.
Okay. I was just gonna show you, like right here.
Mhm.
This trail is like right next to the edge.
Okay.
So I don't know if this would be feasible, you know, right there.
Mhm.
And then, I'm not sure if our fence is here or here,
Okay.
you know, to keep the lagoon out, so I mean, there's a couple different, you know, maybe it'd probably have to be tweaked, you know.
Yeah. And that's fine.
Yeah. I guess it would be nice if maybe when the snow is gone, maybe
Mhm.
take a look at it then and see how feasible this might be.
Okay.
I don't know, what does anybody else think?
I'm just kind of a little bit wondering about, you know, the trail going through there, just kind of keeping down the weeds and stuff, you know, because I'm assuming, I haven't walked it down there, that the weeds are going to grow up a ways and people aren't going to like to be riding through weeds and, you know, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I was just wondering what you were thinking about doing with that.
I have tools to maintain the weeds and trees that would fall down across the trails. So, and
So
if,
you would maintain like, you know, a foot,
yeah,
so that a person can get through there and see where they're going without just going through weeds and stuff?
mhm,
Okay.
I'm gonna guess it's kinda like that, that run that they do every year through the
Mhm.
coulees, you know, they kinda mow out, and I'm guessing it'd be something like that maybe.
yep. Have been working closely with the Bismarck and Fargo trails, asking them how they do their trail systems, picking their brains, so.
There is some, I don't know if you guys read that in your pamphlet, there's some kind of rules for North Dakota Parks and Rec on liability for that.
Mhm.
I think it's a good project. It looks like you've done a lot of research and looked into things, so.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess I would like to, you know, like I said, wait till the snow melts a little bit and then kinda actually look it over a little bit better and then, you know, kinda go from there. 'Cause I don't know how accessible, like, this area in that coulee is there.
Okay.
You know, it might be an issue. I think it's pretty steep there, but I'm not, you know, I can't say for sure,
Okay.
but I would say, yeah, maybe in the spring, or when it starts to melt, maybe contact the city and then maybe our guys or I could, or go down with you or something, and, or a couple of us go down and kinda look it over with you maybe.
Okay.
Maybe get the park board involved also possibly,
Mhm.
if that sounds okay.
Yep, that'd be perfect.
I think it's a good start,
I just gotta ask, 'cause I don't know.
yeah.
The walking trail, are bikes allowed on there? Or is that just walking? I don't know.
You can ride bikes on there.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, you know, is this, you know, walking trail, you're looking for more off-road terrain type?
Yeah, more off-road terrain.
Okay.
The biking path is great. I love it. Use it all the time. But I guess in the biking community, if there's an off-road trail in the state,
Oh.
everyone goes to it.
That way maybe we can keep the bikes off that
Well, I
path,
just
you know,
asked,
if
you know,
there's
it's-
another one,
Mhm.
you know, because some people don't mind it, other people don't like it, so.
Have you got a hold of Parks and Rec, or like North Dakota State Parks and Rec?
I have
See if
not.
there's, you know, maybe there's some assistance that they could give.
Mhm.
You
That's a
know,
thought,
a number of
too.
years ago, and, you know, with the off-road or ATV,
Mhm.
you know, there's some stuff there you can, they're willing to work with, so might be an option to reach out to them, and
Okay.
might be some, you know, grant money, or I don't know.
Even for just the signage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They always have money for stuff like that, yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, you know, maybe a little bit in the future, let's, you know, meet again and kinda go from there, so.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Any other questions for Summer?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Well, I do have a question.
What?
If you haven't yet, you may wanna visit with your counterpart Jasper, he's into that biking.
He is, yeah, he likes the mountain bike. I'm guessing that's what you're looking to do?
Oh,
Mountain bike trail?
Sorry.
Eric Lotsbike went to A2S.
In fact, isn't, Jasper there now?
Where's that?
Wasn't he going down to Spearfish, or was that?
He's gonna do that this weekend, I think.
Okay.
It's at, there's a bike race for those fat tire bikes, they call them.
Yep.
yeah. His boss is who we're talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's really, I mean, I bike too, but he's really into it, so.
So maybe that would be, could give him Jasper's name or something.
I can email you that information because I have your email.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, thank you.
Okay, you bet, thank you, Rum. Storefront improvement, grant, for VHT. You're done with that improvement, is that right?
Yep, it's done.
Okay. So that falls under that storefront improvement grant that the Waida was doing, and it looks like the project came in less than anticipated, so they're looking for $862.89, which looks like it was approved by Waida. So I will move that we pay out the $860.89 for this grant.
Second.
Questions, comments? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Yes. How much, do we know how much is left in that fund? I think there was like 14,000 left or something,
I
wasn't
want
there?
to say it was like 10.
But there's still plenty.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
all right. Very good, thanks. Riverboat Days Committee?
Yeah, so they have dueling pianos coming on April 5th and are asking for a waiver of the fees for that event. And then they also have Riverboat Days, June 7th through the 9th. Doesn't specifically say what it's for, but I'm just, having some kind of event in there.
They usually do like kids games and stuff inside.
Okay.
Okay. So they're asking for,
A waiver of
a-
fees for both April 5th and then June
June
7th
7th
through
and
9th.
Okay, and there's nothing else going on those days and all, right?
Nope.
They're open, okay. So we need a motion to approve those?
Do you want to do them one at a time, or?
We can do them together.
I will move to, that we waive the fee for the rental of the memorial building for April 5th and June 7th through 9th, and that they can come in early and do their decorating. I believe it has been requested on both of the forms.
Yeah.
What does that mean? They're coming in
Or-
like the 4th, or, I mean, or what is it?
We'll have to coordinate if there's something else going on. They would,
For dueling pianos, for sure, they would like to come in early.
Well, then they should be from like the 4th to the 5th then, right, or something? Yeah.
Dual panels.
Sorry, I
I'll
didn't
amend.
interrupt the motion.
Is it okay if I amend it right now?
Yeah.
So I'll amend it for April 5th, 4th and 5th. And they don't ask to come in early on June.
Yeah, I don't see
We'll
where
leave
it
that
says
one in.
coming in early on the other one, but,
On the top.
oh, there we go, okay, I see, okay. Okay, 4th and 5th, and 7th through 9th, okay. That's the motion.
I second that.
Okay. Questions, discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes. Okay. Washburn Lions?
the Washburn Lions waiver of the fees for May 11th for a birthday party. Is there, I don't remember what anniversary he said. It's for the upper level.
They wanna waive the fee for an anniversary party,
Birthday party.
or a birthday party?
Their 100th or whatever anniversary for a birthday party
Oh, it's
for the Lions.
it's the birthday of the Lions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
Anniversary, birthday, yeah.
okay.
They have birthday on that.
Yeah.
So they're looking at,
May 11th.
and the night before,
the night before.
so it'd be like the evening of the 10th. Well, I see they do quite a bit for the community. So I'll move to, waive the fee for the Lions for, the evening of the 10th and May 11th.
Second.
Okay, discussion, question? Of course, everybody pays a deposit, you know, so. Okay, Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, intake improvement project. So, we had met with Doug Price, and, he was asking, you know, $50,000 for a spot across the river for the intake project. And we're talking with Doug, this would include a half-acre of land. It would be a permanent access easement to get to the spot, and a construction easement. And also, this would be contingent upon, once we receive bids that we accept, that the project would continue. So, I mean, it wouldn't happen unless we continued with the project. And I think this is a very fair price, considering everything. There's a road to it already. They maintain the road, they gravel the road, they clean snow on the road. There's electricity is already there, so, I mean, that's huge. And really, river property, you know, I think it's a good price, so.
I would add to that too, Larry, that was under what we estimated the land purchase would be.
Yeah.
I think on our estimate that we provided to you guys in December when Jasper was here.
Right.
I think we had it at like 75,000.
It did, yeah.
So,
So I'm gonna make a motion that we, approve the, a contract for $50,000 for the land and all the easements that go with it, you know, contingent upon us going through this project.
I will second that.
Okay, any discussion on this?
We'll have Lindell draw up the legal documents, of course.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any other discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, so we'll get a hold of David probably tomorrow. Well, I did talk with David today briefly, and he said he probably wouldn't be able to do it till next week because he's really swamped this week, but we'll get it done very, very soon. So, okay, we'll wait with the rest of it till you, for your thing, right, Eric?
sure.
Okay. All right, where did my agenda go? Here it is. Okay, we have policies, capital asset policies. Did we have a chance to read through these policies? Rainey, I'll kind of let you take over then.
Yeah, so, the first one, that capital asset policy, I would, suggest only, one change. They have, assets that have a useful life of more than one fiscal year, and I would say 2. That would be my only suggestion. And if you wanted to change the value, that would be the only other thing that maybe,
What do you think, a good value would be? or don't you?
It's hard because some of your projects are quite large, so
Yeah,
5,000 is like
not much.
not much,
Yeah.
but then you look at something else, it might, you know, so that would be the only thing I would question, would be like, do you want it to be 5,000, or do you have something else in mind that 10,000, or, you know, so,
Yeah, and I really have nothing to go by on that.
Yeah.
And that- I don't know, Colin, maybe you do, running a business, but,
So anything, if it's 5,000 or less, you don't worry about it.
right. So you think about like a computer, like a server, and, you know, just think of the different things that you've bought in the past. It doesn't take much to get to 5,000 anymore.
No. I guess where we're at, anything over 3 is considered that, goes on CapEx. So 5,000, I don't think I wouldn't go any higher than that.
if there's a need to change later, we could always change it, I guess.
We can always change it.
I mean, if this is in there at 5, I think that's a reasonable amount.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on that, or do you know anything about that? Capital assets? Not really? Not your field, right?
No.
Okay.
And this came from the state, right?
Yep, this is their template that they give out. So then anything that's over 5,000 or greater, then you put on a fixed asset list and you depreciate according to the estimated useful life on this policy.
So I have a question on this. With everything else you have going on, do you really have time to do this kind of thing right now, or?
Choice.
Yeah, you really don't have a
Well, we
choice.
don't have a policy now.
Well, but we
During
need,
your audit, though, you were,
I know.
Being for it.
Well, that was my only concern, because, I mean, there's so much going on right now that,
it's something that we need to address.
and maybe it's something Jackie can work on too. Or-
you're not busy.
Yeah. Yeah, my nickel an hour is going down to a penny an hour.
Well, that's right, you want it done right. Never mind.
Yeah, right, okay. Okay, yeah, I mean,
I think we should go with their template, because we can amend it later on,
that's true.
and that way you can start on it and say that we're in the process of.
Right, that's a very good idea. I do have one question on this thing. Kind of in the middle of the first paragraph, it says, the objectives of capital asset planning are to enhance the accuracy and reliability of soil district financial statements. Is that like a term, soil district, or is that, it's capital S-O-I-L. I wonder if that means something. Right in the middle of the first paragraph. Okay, it starts on the third line down, kind of toward the end, and continues to the fourth line.
Oh, okay, oh,
Scope and purpose.
I'm guessing, these
might be
these were given to, this set that I printed was given to me when they were here, and this set was emailed to me later.
Oh.
I'm guessing.
Oh, you have a
Probably
different one
just-
on there, maybe?
Yeah, I'm guessing he
Oh.
just has a typo.
Oh, I,
I'm
Because
guessing
I'm
it's a-
guessing it's a template that he filled in for a soil district,
Oh,
Did you need?
and Jim
Okay.
forgot to
Standard
change
form,
it.
they did.
see, that's what I'm wondering, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's on this one too, so yeah, it's on the one on here too.
Where did you get that from again?
I got this from the auditor's office,
Oh,
I,
so,
I read that and I just didn't know what it meant, so,
so I can make that correction and then,
okay.
do you know how much you can set it at any level? Your-
yeah.
Oh. It might be a good idea to ask what David thinks of that, Larry.
Yeah.
Maybe, he's seen a few examples.
Have you run these by David?
No,
Okay.
I mean, you don't wanna get too old, cause then you're spending a lot of time depreciating
Yeah,
meaningless things
you
that,
put
you
a lot
know.
of time and effort into something
Right.
like a lawnmower,
Right.
you wouldn't put
Right.
it down that low, but
Yep.
I'm not
Right.
sure on that.
You know,
But he does a lot of tax stuff too, and
He does.
would have a good idea on that.
Never hurts to run it by her opinion, for sure.
you want me to ask him on this one? You can,
Do we wanna ask before we motion on this, or?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a bad idea.
Is there, maybe I asked this last time, is there a time frame you need to get these moving?
no, just,
Something we need to implement,
Yes.
but, you know,
I guess I'd like to see it sooner than later, but, you know.
I would hope by
Right.
next meeting.
By
we
next
have
meeting,
it.
if we can get these finalized.
Or we can approve it on contingent that he okays it.
Yeah, but then we'd have to amend it right away if he wants something changed. It's only another month.
okay.
Okay. Do we have to have him look at all these policies then, or just, the other ones seem a little bit more straightforward.
Well, I don't think there's any dollar limits there, is there?
No.
Right.
No. So the, yeah, the GASB 54, I would say we wouldn't need to review it. It's just outlining all your different fund types.
Mm-hmm. And you see any problem with this at all?
I didn't see anything.
I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I think you could probably do a motion on this one. Because haven't they, I think in all our past, audits, they always said you're not doing this according to the government accounting standards. Wasn't it always in there? And this would actually put us in with that. If I remember, when I read on all the other ones, the previous audits, so. This is a good thing. So I'll make a motion to approve the fund balance policy in accordance with GASB statement number 54.
I'll second.
Discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Noel?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Last one is fraud policy. Rainey?
So, this fraud policy is a little bit more, it's saying you're gonna do this stuff. And it talks about, going through, like making a committee, going through what you think your fraud, points would be, and kind of coming out with, a risk assessment kind of,
Did you see
policy
any,
or.
did you see
I
any
did-
questions on this one? Or?
No, I didn't. I think it's a good practice. It's hard when you only have 2 people in the office. You're gonna
Mhm.
have a lot of points that are probably, you can't do anything about it because there's only 2 of you. You
That's
can't
right.
have the checks and balances like you can in a bigger place. So it's probably a good thing to have those pointed out to you so that you're aware of these would be the weaknesses of,
Right.
the business that's being conducted, so.
Mhm. Yeah, I read it over. I thought it looked really good.
Again, would take some time to do, but I think it's something that needs to be done,
Yeah.
just like the capital asset one.
Yeah. Well, and then again, then it actually gets put into our handbook and everything else too then, right? And, because we need to probably update our handbook anyway, so a couple other things in there, so yeah, I think it would be a good thing.
I'll make a motion to add this one, fraud prevention investigation policy.
I second that.
Discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Well,
Aye.
yes. Credit card policy, okay, I don't have anything on that unless it's in here.
It's right below the other one.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I got all mine on paper.
Yeah, so I put this one in here because, we had talked about getting a credit card, and we didn't have the financials, the audited financials that the application required. And So I reached back out to the bank because we should have our audited financials here within the next few days. Didn't know if you wanted to pursue this again, and then if you do, then we probably need a credit card policy to go along with it, so. This again is a template from the North Dakota Auditor's Office.
Just give me a second, I'm gonna read through this, Kevin.
I'm gonna make a motion to adopt this credit card policy also.
I'll second.
Just give me a second, I'm almost done.
Find it?
I'm reading.
Your lips weren't moving.
I'm pretending.
There's no pictures.
Discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes.
Do we need a motion to go ahead and, pursue the credit card again after the,
So if that's something you want to pursue, I think I gave you the copy of that community card, right? I think that's what I had in there, that's what.
Oh,
That's
the
what both
Visa?
the business and the community, I can't remember, but, I contacted the bank, those were the two that maybe would be applicable to our situation, and she really suggested we go with that community card.
We don't have them now.
No.
Okay.
And when we discussed this earlier, we were just gonna go with one card, right?
Right, because the others
That's-
do not, yeah.
That's what we were thinking, right?
Yeah, and it stays in the office unless you're going somewhere or you need it. so.
Right, because in the policy before, it was elected officials or employees.
Got what?
In this deal here, it said something about 5%. With the motion that we just did, what you just read through.
Yeah, the credit limit cannot exceed 5% of the total budget for the current fiscal year.
But I'm wondering if that elected officials can use that credit card too.
Personally, I don't want to.
I don't know why we need to.
No, I want to clarify that because this up here says 5%.
It's just, this
5%.
policy is just saying that the
Right.
credit limit of the card cannot exceed
Right.
5%.
So
5% of the budget.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I want to do the credit card just for the employees and not elected officials then? Right?
Well,
Okay, so, but if you have an emergency and you need a pump that's, whatever, a few $100s, and it takes, you know, I'd say $2,000 or whatever.
Yeah, that's what we had set up.
So, and you need to charge it on the credit card,
Right,
you're
so,
gonna wanna be able to use it.
well, that's why I'm saying elected officials and employees. Because sometimes it takes two,
I think if it come down to that situation, we had an emergency, I needed a pump at the water plant, it was before, okay, contact another one, decision is made, Green, here's the
Then
part
we
number,
approve it.
and you order it,
Yeah.
and then she can do that.
yes.
I think that way it's,
okay.
I just don't think city officials need a card.
no, you don't.
No,
Because the employees will have the card. And
If it was,
everything's going to be.
that big of an emergency, I'd just use my own credit card. and
That's right.
Submit an offense.
That's right. That's a good question, though. Yeah. Okay. Does that answer your question?
yeah, just so that we know
Right.
how it's going to work.
Okay.
Randy, do you think the community card is the way to go then, after
I
looking at
do.
them both?
After looking at them both, yeah, that one seems to apply be the best option.
Who's the other one?
The other one is called a business credit card.
Oh,
So I'll motion that we go ahead and,
Why?
apply when the financials come in for the community card, and then it will be just for the city employees, not commissioners.
I second that motion.
Discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Well,
Aye.
yes. Very good. Okay. Ad for special assessment committee?
So I would like, authority or approval to put an ad in for, open position of the Special Assessment Committee. Sue Winters, her term is up, and has told me that she does not want to be reappointed to that committee. So I'd like to advertise for an open position on that committee. She was appointed back in January 14th, 2013.
Is Mark gonna stay on?
Mark has not quite decided,
So, what's the term on that, or is there a
so
term?
it's a
or-
6-year term.
It is a 6-year term, okay.
He was appointed in November of 2012, so his term would be up as well, but he hasn't decided if we technically need to reappoint him if he's going to stay on when he decides.
Well,
or-
I guess you could advertise for one or more, or advertise for members, you know, because if he would want to be on, then he just lets us know, and, because he would be up, so,
Yeah.
you know. And
As of
Dennis,
today, he didn't know, he hadn't decided yet.
how about Dennis, is he,
I've not been able to get a hold of Dennis.
okay.
Dennis Van Horn,
Dennis, his term,
his term, he was October of 2014.
okay, so he's
That's
still
the
on.
time.
Okay, so he's still on, okay. So, yeah, we should advertise. Speaking of that, I think Jasper had mentioned, or had asked maybe if we want to consider doing a special assessment ordinance. You know, just a thought to throw out there. You know, 'cause I think what we have done these past 3-4 projects, whatever it was, has worked really well. You know, where you kind of split it out amongst everybody. But if the special assessment committee would change all that, you know, and that would really be kind of cheating the people that have helped other people pay. Something to consider, something to think about for maybe the next meeting or something, so. Just threw that out there.
Do you have how they've done it in the past? The procedure that they use?
We know what they did. What they
Okay.
did in the past was, the water and sewer was assessed to the people that benefited. The streets, it was 50% the people that benefited and 50% to the rest of the town.
So can we get that written up so we know, you know, so we can look at that?
Right, we will do that.
So I understand how that,
We'll do that, right, Rainey?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
because if we don't do sewer and water on the newer parts of town, that way we understand how it goes.
Right, sewer
Okay.
and water is based on user, and everything else is
Right.
square foot.
there's something to think about, so, okay, moving on.
So do you want to make a motion to do that ad?
Oh,
No, I'll make a motion to take an ad for the special assessment committee member.
second. Discussion. Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Oh, yes. Okay. Ready there, Rainey? Journal entries.
Okay, so you have copies of, the journal entry that I'm proposing to do, just to fix, again, the financials. You know, we've talked at the beginning that we've had some cleanup to do, and so this was just cleaning up the interest earnings in those specific, for those specific funds, and putting them where their actual dollars are when they did the entry, they did them to like, the first one there was to the general fund, it should've went to 301, or went to the project fund instead of the project account. And then that third one, to the general fund instead of the 304 water treatment plant upgrade account. So it was just like a typo, so just to get those corrected.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we, make those journal entries.
Second.
Discussion? Question? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Ralph?
Aye.
Yes. Well, you update? There's gonna be a meeting tomorrow at noon at Dakota Farms, with WIDA and Civic Club. They're gonna discuss on where they wanna proceed. I plan on being there. I'm assuming Rainey's gonna be there. I don't know if anybody else wants to be there, but
Jackie
I'll
expressed
go
she'd
be
like
there.
to go there too, so we might just check the
That would be
office out
fine.
for that.
yeah, I think that would be good. Okay. All right, A2S.
So, two things for you guys. I made it this month.
Yay.
A little bit better weather, I guess, than February, a month ago. But, this last weekend wasn't the best either, I guess, but anyway, I made it here. Just a few things, the 2018, intake project. We got the geotech report back from Terracon, and the good news report on that is that, we won't have a limitation. The ground's gonna be good for, building foundation, if we're to pursue, construction on intake projects over on the south side of the river. You know, once we hear from Dave and Doug on the land, then we'll go ahead and drive away on the preliminary design for that.
Yeah.
And so that's the intake.
Do you have a lot of preliminary design left on that, or?
Well, we have a couple options since we're looking at the open channel intake.
Mhm.
So that's going to be one of our options, and the other one's going to be a similar design to what we already did, or what we had produced for the north side of the river, for the city side of the river. So, but there's a little bit of work to be done on that. So,
Can you just remind me again, what was our projected bidding date? Were we looking at May, or I don't remember?
May would be a goal, yeah. I don't remember what we had on that. I know we had a schedule submitted in December, but I want to say we said spring of 2019 we wanted to have it bid.
Right.
So I don't know if it was specifically May or not, but I can get back to you on that.
Okay, I was just
Bidding
curious
date?
for
Yeah.
everybody's knowledge, so.
Okay. All right. Any other questions on the intake project at this point? Okay. The street improvements, Larry talked about, or brought up that we're looking at a few different spots in town for some street improvements. And I know we met and drove around some of the areas a while back, but we had produced some estimates for what we think the projects would cost. We're looking right now to update those for utilities, and that's the Heritage Heights area, where we have some streets. They're not streets yet, but we know that that's where they're going to be, and we're just looking at costs if we were to do utilities. 'Cause
One
if we're
to your house.
going to build,
Make that.
a new street, we want to make sure we put utilities in first. So we'll at least have that, and that'll be, we have an estimate for what the street would cost, but we would have, basically, we'd create a water improvement district and a sewer improvement district, and we'd have those costs differentiated just so you guys have an estimate, and if you were to produce estimates for an assessment, you can do that at that point.
That's always been one of the big beefs, everybody always wants to know what's it gonna be beforehand, and really, they've never got an answer, so
Yeah.
we're just trying to, provide them with what they want beforehand this time.
Right, because the last time they did the update up there, it was so many landowners had to approve the district. to put that in, when they were building the homes up there.
Yep.
That's why they cut that off at that one spot. You know,
Just gonna pass that over to you. But those are the 3 maps that we made, of the different areas. In January, I know I brought up the areas. I explained them to you guys, the areas we're looking at. And I was gonna bring some maps, and those are the areas. That's up at Heritage Heights.
right, because
this here
we
is-
don't have sewer from here
Yep.
to here.
Right, so this is what we would look at adding in, sewer here and here.
Yep,
Um,
and then paving here and here.
Yep.
We wouldn't pave down there.
You wouldn't.
No.
You're just looking at paving this thoroughfare to get you over here.
Probably to here and through there.
Yeah, because,
And extend the water and sewer also.
Yep,
Right,
if we were gonna
because-
pave it, you wanna put in water and sewer main.
because there's a problem with water running down through
And I
here, through
have-
this arch.
I have talked with them about that.
So I don't know if there's always an issue running past the cabin
Mhm.
with, you know, and there's a grate down here that it goes into.
Mhm.
Have we looked into putting a storm sewer in this area?
I have talked to them about
Okay.
that, told them what the problem is, how the design is now, which doesn't work.
Yeah.
And-
Right.
And that's
Right.
something they'll be
Water that
looking
comes
into.
through here
Yeah.
too and drains
Right,
down
that comes through
so-
here, but
Right.
then there's an arch that comes in through here,
Yeah.
hits this big arch here.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
just wondering, that's the big complaint,
Mhm.
is
Absolutely.
Yep.
getting from here to this main drain here.
And we'd be looking for solutions, or coming up with solutions for that, for this project.
Right,
So,
you know, because if we do the district, we would have to have that planned in before, right?
we would have to at least have a solution in for the drainage, yes,
Mhm.
if we're gonna be building stuff there.
Right,
so.
because, yeah, there's access to it now.
Mhm.
That's gonna
It's
be an
just-
interesting one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough, really tough.
So,
But,
yeah, and then there's the other areas, and this is, Pleasant Acres, and I think most
Okay.
people are aware of the condition of the roads are pretty bad there. The utilities would not have to be replaced in Pleasant Acres, just the roadway would need to be.
and the utilities wouldn't need to be replaced except for where we add in, right? That's
We
all
would be
new
putting,
enough, if I
where
understand.
there's none existing, we would install new, yep. We don't need to replace utilities up here,
Right, because there's three.
at least not on Custer, I know.
Well, there's 3 great big, shut-offs right here in the corner on the fire hydrant. And I'm thinking that you're gonna wanna hook into that to tie in to these other houses, so there's 2
Oh, yeah, we'd
ways.
have a loop there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
loop,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
saying.
Yep, yep, yep.
And then this last one here is, First Street by the water plant. This road's in pretty rough shape, so that's the other spot we're looking at.
And you're looking at milling them, then just repaving them? Or
Or
if you break through the mill, you know, if the mill's not thick enough, to go in there with concrete to make a base out of it?
yeah, it would be, at this point, I planned a reconstruction of the road, so you'd come in with an asphalt reclaimer that would till up the millings, and then they would haul it off, and they'd recompact the base, and then bring the base back in, and then they would pave it on top of that.
Yeah, because I don't know how thick that actually is. Don't know.
We'd have to
That's
find
the
out.
problem,
Yeah,
and,
find out.
But-
and if this project would go, we would do a geotech study like we typically do on all of our street and utility projects, and see what we have there. Is it 2 inches of asphalt, is it 4? Is there 2 inches of base, is there none? Is there 8?
Right.
I'm guessing there's not 8 inches of base on it, just for the
Sure
condition of the
not.
road,
Mhm.
just the condition, judging by the condition of
Right.
that road. But, you know, we won't know until we actually,
Now, the new thing is, like I said, they mill it, if they break through, then they put concrete in there and use the ground moisture to make the base,
you need
mix it in?
you need to look into what the soils are if you're going to do something like that.
Okay, okay.
I know what you're talking about, which method you're talking about, and there is a way you can crush up the asphalt and put an additive in there, and then just, you know, recompact it and pave right on top of it again. But we would have to look at the soils. I wouldn't eliminate that option, but
It's
we'd
expensive.
have to look into it first. So, there could be cost savings on it, but like I said, you'd rather rebuild the street correct, or right the first time.
Yeah, because there's a high snow demand there all the time. That's where you're gonna find your snowbanks blowing in from the north. And when it thaws, that's where all the
Always
water
been a
is.
high snow area
Yes.
up there, absolutely.
So, just so you're aware of it.
Okay. And you guys can keep these, but I just wanted to make sure you guys saw the maps, and like I said, we'll be, refining the estimate for you too, and I had another project, street and utility project that was bid, earlier, a week or two ago now, so, we got some current prices from some contractors on what they bid, so I'll be able to, probably tighten up the estimates a little bit on
Are they
what
pretty
we
good
have.
prices?
They got better than what I thought, what I expected for asphalt prices. Probably like 10 or 15% lower than what I
Nice.
expected on
Nice.
the asphalt, but that's all gonna be driven by oil prices too,
Well, of course.
so, for paving.
Are we going to know about this next meeting then, or not, or?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe not. You know,
Just-
it's something we want to be able to get a good cost idea, and then we're gonna have to figure out we have a utility to plug this into, we gotta kinda get that figured out, so it might be a couple meetings. Obviously, this isn't gonna be done this year, you know, and maybe next year, maybe the year after, I mean, who knows? It's gotta
But
come
you need to
together.
do the testing before you do anything, so,
We
right?
wouldn't do geotechnical testing until the project would actually be going forward.
These are estimates. that
These
we
are just
want
estimates for
to
you.
Right.
give somebody an
Yeah.
idea.
But if you don't know what it's there, how do you estimate it?
I would estimate it at the reconstruction cost for the road, the more proven technique. And like I said, that might cost a little bit more than doing a mill and overlay or a till and reconstruction, but that's the way I would do it.
Better to estimate high. and
Yeah.
then they-
Well, I didn't know
people are
which
happy
way
when
he
it
was
comes
gonna
by,
go. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not gonna estimate low, I don't think, so,
No.
okay. Any
So-
other questions on that?
Okay. And then the last thing, and I know that an email was sent from Jasper for sure, I think to you, you got it, Rainey, and I think Larry got it. But our ceiling paint issue at the water plant, Mr. Lindell did send a letter to PKG on February 6th, and Mike Sikorsky from PKG had replied, said we received your letter, and that they were working on a solution to resolve the ceiling paint issue, and the date that Lindell had put in the letter was by the end of June, and they think that they can hit that, so we'll just kind of continue to monitor that, and hopefully we can get that ceiling paint issue finally fixed.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Any other questions, for Eric? Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Eric.
Portfolios, Colin.
Well, so people are aware, the way the weather's been, there's been a few freezing water lines in town, service lines, so hopefully nobody here has that problem.
I think I know of 3 so far, maybe 4.
Yep.
And I don't know if I know one that got resolved, I don't know about the other one, so.
So, and if there's any concern, you may wanna, a little water, keep some water on or something, just, be aware of it. No update on the sander yet. I heard, Aaron said you got a bill, but we're not paying that. So, I didn't get a call probably a month ago now from Rodney, he said he's still working on it, but I haven't heard nothing back, so I'll give him a call again here this week.
Very good.
That's all I've got.
Okay, Mike?
I've been working on the Memorial Hall. I have a guy set up or looking at the cracks in the struts for the air conditioning lines, but it's too wet to do anything with them right now. Structurally, they'll hold, not a problem, just they look bad, and we need to address the issue. In between the buildings, I came up with some plastic that I can get fairly inexpensive, and what I want to do is think about putting a drain tile in
I saw that.
and put a collection hole to get the water from under the building to collect in there, put this over the top to get the drainage and the snow when it melts off, to get it off away from the buildings. so we quit having issues with water along the buildings. And if it works on one side, then we can do the other side too.
Did you show that to Eric?
I showed them which is heavy plastic, it's used, but it shouldn't deteriorate very fast.
How big a piece of it was?
They're 10 feet round, 300 feet long.
Oh, okay.
They're the grain bags for farmers.
Oh, those big ones.
The big ones that sit out in the weather.
Okay.
So they'll stand up, and if you cover them, I'm thinking it'll stand up fairly well. That will take care of our weeds and some drainage problems.
You could cover that area with just one piece, you wouldn't have any seams or nothing in it.
Well, there's gonna be holes, but we can tape them if we have to. But yeah, you could take just one piece and...
That was only like 200 feet,
Yeah.
250 feet maybe at the most,
Right.
between the building, the length?
The length,
Yeah,
yeah,
that long.
100 something.
It's 100 something,
Oh, only 100, okay.
maybe 150. Yeah.
But we could see what we can do with that. But that's what I'm thinking about, trying to get that taken care of. Right now, we're talking about putting some security cams in. I'm trying to get prices for that through the same company that put them in here. But I'm looking also at, just off the internet, so that we can look at the app and just have security cameras over there. Rainey told me today we got a water leak in this building that I need to call a roofer and see if that's needs to be resealed. So I'll be doing that next couple of days.
You can, or Brian can, whoever.
Brian,
If you
yeah.
want to, that'd be fine.
Well,
You can do it too.
if Brian wants to. I'm thinking it's a flat roof.
Oh, yeah.
Have we ever thought about just putting up,
It's been passed several times.
yeah, but putting up a V up there, is that possible, or a lean-to just to shed the snow and water? I don't know
Not
if it's
that I know
possible,
of, not that I know of.
you know,
Maybe, I mean, it's possible.
just to
think.
get the heavy stuff off,
Yeah.
Because
I don't-
it looks like it does this multiple times. So,
I don't know why anybody would have a flat roof in North Dakota, but
no,
they do it all the time,
but I think if we could address it that way as we have problems,
Yeah,
it might be something to look ahead to save the building later on.
right. Yeah, actually, we haven't had a leak for quite a few years. Over the years, spots have been patched and stuff, but
Has that roof ever been
Redone?
completely resealed?
I think it has.
Huh?
I think it has. I don't remember when, but I think it has.
That
I
might
could be wrong, though.
something that should be put on a
Um,
preventive maintenance,
Mhm.
every 5 or 10 years, whatever it may be.
Maybe we should check and see how often they recommend that.
Really it's only a problem when it rains or melts.
Right. Okay, anything else?
That's it for me.
Noel?
Nothing.
Okay, I would like permission to put on load restrictions as when time happens rather than, come to a meeting. So if you will give me the authority to do that, I will stay in contact with Noel, because she works at the county. And we'll be watching the state and county, and we generally do it at the same time. So,
I'll second that.
okay. One motion, you second.
Okay. Not that you made a motion.
Discussion. Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes. Go ahead. Rainey?
Just a couple things. I laid, most current delinquent list in front of you, so Jackie ran that today. This is here for your review. I have sent a few, I sent 6 collections that Pro collect out of Minot. I got the list back from them, so, hopefully we hear something soon from them. Either they'll, I'm assuming they're gonna need some more information from us, so, or we hear back from them, to pursue that a little bit more.
This is looking pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
We just have a few, again, that are popping up again, so.
Mhm.
And then my other thing is, like I said, I heard today back from Alex, who's the lead auditor on our audit. He says it's been signed now by the state auditor, so now it's finished and it's, we'll be hearing it back from them about the billing and the report. So as soon as I get that, I'll share that with you guys. That's it.
Anybody in the audience? George?
Is the snow gate fixed then for the blade in town here?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah,
Hmm? What?
Used it past my house.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad.
Yeah, reviews.
I don't know, there's plenty of snow in front of my driveway, so I shoveled it by hand. But, you know, I mean, I know how it goes, so you're gonna have some.
Yeah, there's a guy up there, and I don't know who it is yet, but he's coming along with a skid steer and he's cleaning for people, just,
Really?
yeah.
And he's not making a mess?
Poor Judd is getting all the snow putting on his deal right now, but he's not there right now.
Oh,
so.
there you go, right.
But, yeah, it needs to go somewhere.
Okay,
On the Washburn website, are we ever gonna get that date for the meetings put on there?
I did after our last meeting.
It's still not there.
It's still not there?
Did you
No.
get active?
Okay, I'll have to look at that. So I did it the next
I
day.
use it a lot.
Okay.
That's why I asked.
I thought it was on there, but.
I didn't see it the
Is
last
it
time
not
I
on
was
the front
it.
page, or?
No, it's on something that you have to click on. It's a document that you have to click on. So,
One more.
okay.
Maybe,
So I added that.
living in Washburn?
I added that document, so I'll double check on that.
Okay.
Anything else? No? Bills? Good chance to look at the bills. I do have a question on one of the bills. So, the park board payment, if you remember, when, during budget time, I wanted to take that out of the budget, the $10,000 out of the budget, because the park board has their, they have their own mills, and they have more mills that they can levy, they just didn't do it. Why should we be paying them money out of our mills? It makes no sense to me. But there was 15,000 in there, and so we took 5 away, and we left 10,000 in there. And then I had said at the time, okay, well, we'll leave it in there, but unless they actually need it and come and request it, we're not gonna give it to them. If everybody remembers budget time. So I would like to have that one pulled out of there. And if they have a reason for it, then they should come and request it rather than just giving it to them. Because just because it's in the budget doesn't mean we're spending it. You know, so. Everybody okay with that, or? Yes? You okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's what we discussed at the budget.
Exactly. No, okay.
If they needed something, they were supposed to come talk to us,
Right, okay.
not just bill us.
So,
I'll pull that one out.
okay. Any other questions on the
There
bill?
was the $75 from Bidco.
Oh, yeah.
Is that?
That's the internet.
That's for here, right?
That's for here.
Oh, not on West River here.
No,
Okay, I thought we.
No, this is the one that we were on a 5-year contract, and that expires, I wanna say, in 2020, I think.
Okay.
We had a bit yet on the contract for
Okay.
here.
I just thought we made the switch to West River, so, okay. Then I'm good there.
Any other comments on the bills? Do we have a motion to pay bills?
Make a motion to pay the bills,
except for,
except for Washburn.
Except for the park board. It's not actually a bill.
Yeah.
So,
I'll second.
any other discussion on the bills? Colin?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, next meeting is April 9th, 2019. Okay, back up a minute. Board of Equalization will be first on that day. They're on the same day?
Yeah, I reached out to, Ryan, who's not there, but Todd told me that will work for them.
Okay. Did he say what time?
And
Do
he
you
did
want-
not tell me
Do we
time.
want to do that at 6? and then the regular meeting at 6:30.
We usually do like a half hour before.
That's what we've done before.
Okay.
So the next meeting will be Board of Equalization at 6, regular meeting to follow after, or at 6:30, whichever is, you know. Okay, so with that, no other business, meeting adjourned. Thank you everybody for coming. Nice short meeting.
That's your delinquencies down here.
What? Alright, you want them back?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, need to be floating
Oh.
around.
Yeah, I kept all the other ones.
Better not.
Yeah.
I keep,
Hopefully you kept it in the shredder machine.
Yeah.
my stuff is secure.
Yes, you did.
Somebody wanna hand me the
Give you an
check?
explanation on it?
Can I have
Um,
that pile of bills? Go ahead.
Here's the bills. That one on top
So we're
there.
trying to send you an explanation.
Why not?
We used to send letters,
No, they're gonna need
and
to
then,
fix stuff.
the way the county does it now is they send it straight to you guys.
Why not?
So I didn't send you anything with this. I sent you an explanation on it. Oh, okay, so I did send you something. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I did, but, yeah, and I've been attaching it so that they know, that they can see what it is for.
Normally Roxanne or Jenny will send me, like, I'll be copied when they send me something, so as long as they do that, then I'll make sure that I'll, like, reply to that and I'll send you something back, so. Cause I wanna make sure you guys are
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
explanation.
Okay, so.